shine, such a shine. You are shine, you are shine. You are sushi shine, sushi shine. Yeah. Lord, please don't take your love away. Please don't take your love away. Yeah, ghosting, I'm dying.
This video was made in collaboration with Narutopedia. For more information, check out the link in the description. The life of Obito Uchiha. Obito Uchiha was a member of Konohagakure's Uchiha clan. He was believed to have died during the Third Shinobi World War, his only surviving legacy being the Sharingan he gave to his teammate, Kakashi Hatake. In truth, Obito was saved from death and trained by Madara Uchiha. But the events of the war left Obito disillusioned with reality, and he inherited Madara's plan to create an ideal world, resurfacing under the names of Tobi and Madara himself. Obito subtly took control of the Akatsuki, using them as a means to advance his machinations, eventually going public and starting the Fourth Shinobi World War. However, towards the war's conclusion, Obito had a change of heart, and, as atonement, sacrificed his life to save the same world he sought to replace. Welcome to the Amagi. In today's video, we're going over the life of Obito Uchiha. Before we begin, we publish a new video every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Early life. Obito grew up not knowing who his parents were. In the anime, he was left in the care of his grandmother. Feeling alone in the world, Obito dreamed of becoming Hokage so that the people of the village would acknowledge his existence. He enrolled in the academy to help him achieve that goal, where he developed a one-sided rivalry with Kakashi Hatake, whose natural talent and popularity he was jealous of. He also became a close friend of Rin Nohara, whom he eventually fell in love with. After finally graduating some years later, Obito, Rin, and Kakashi were placed on a team under the leadership of Minato Namikaze. In the anime, as a final qualifying test, Minato gave the team a bell test to test their cooperation skills. Obito could not accomplish this on his own, but by joining forces with Rin and Kakashi, they succeeded in taking the bells, teaching Obito the value of teamwork. The team later participated in the Chunin exams, where Obito was defeated in the third round in a one-on-one match with Might Guy. Kakashi would go on to defeat Guy in a subsequent match, promoting him to Chunin and impressing Rin. Eager for Rin's attention, Obito trained relentlessly, eventually rising to the rank of Chunin himself. His excitement was short-lived, as Kakashi soon afterwards became a Jonin, once again earning Rin's praise and Obito's resentment. During the Third Shinobi World War, Kakashi was placed in charge of the team for a mission to destroy the Kanabi Bridge, which would hinder Iwagakure from using Kusagakure as a relief point. Before beginning the mission, Minato and Rin gave gifts to Kakashi to celebrate his promotion to Jonin, though Obito had forgotten, straining their already poor relationship. Minato was soon called to the front lines, leaving the team to complete the mission alone under Kakashi's command. The three were discovered by Iwani along the way, and Rin was captured. Kakashi elected to abandon Rin, believing it was more important to finish the mission before concerning themselves with her safety. Obito became enraged at the idea, and insisted that they focus on her rescue. When Kakashi refused, Obito left on his own, remarking that Kakashi was worse than trash for abandoning his friends. Obito located the cave that Iwanin were using as a hideout, but was found by a camouflaged Taiseki before he could launch a rescue. Kakashi, moved by Obito's earlier words, arrived in time to save him from Taiseki's attack, but lost his left eye in the process. From his desire to help Kakashi, Obito awakened his Sharingan, allowing him to see through Taiseki's camouflage and kill him. Obito and Kakashi infiltrated the cave and released Rin from her restraints. Her captor, Kako, caused the cave to collapse around them. As the team ran for the exit, Kakashi was struck in his blind spot and fell. When Obito noticed that Kakashi was about to be hit by a falling boulder, Obito pushed him out of the way and became trapped in his place. With the right side of his body crushed and no way to free himself, Obito accepted his fate and made an offering to give Kakashi his left Sharingan as an apology for not getting him a present earlier. Rin performed the transplant, and once the procedure was finished, Kakashi used his new Sharingan to kill Kako. Iwa reinforcements quickly began to further compress the rubble, forcing Kakashi and Rin to leave Obito behind. As the rocks tightened around him, Obito reflected that he had finally started to get along with Kakashi, and that he couldn't confess to Rin that he loved her. Kakashi and Rin were rescued by Minato, and when they returned to Konoha, Obito's name was engraved in the village's memorial stone. Saved from death. In actuality, Obito was rescued by White Zetsu under orders from an elderly Madara. He brought Obito to Mountain's graveyard and tended to his injuries, removing those body parts too damaged to heal and replacing them with limbs cultivated from the cells of Hashirama Senju. Despite his injuries, Obito's right Sharingan had survived intact. Although frightened by Madara, Obito felt indebted to him for saving his life and was willing to render any assistance he could, an offer Madara made clear he would collect upon. Obito began a long rehabilitation process, eager to recover enough for him to return to Konoha and help his friends and the village with the still ongoing war. With the help of White Zetsu and another spiral-faced Zetsu, he nicknamed Guruguru, Obito became accustomed to his replacement limbs and the abilities they granted him. All the while, Madara would tell Obito about the harsh realities of the world and his plan to save it, which the young Uchiha disregarded.
Watching this.
During the end of his recuperation process, White Zetsu informed Obito that Kakashi and Rin were elsewhere, about to be killed by Kirigakure ninja.
That's pretty good.
Obito was insistent on
like
helping
this?
them, which Guruguru offered to help him.
I gotta work at 5 tomorrow, so I told Mackenzie I wanna play
Before
Hacky
leaving,
Sack.
Obito thanked Madara for all his help, but said he wouldn't be
Okay.
returning.
I love you.
Madara made
I love you
clear
too.
his conviction that Obito would return to him.
Can you give me milk first?
Guruguru directed
The
him
cup's right there.
to Kakashi's location, along the way
Magician.
informing him of he was absent.
Thank
When
you.
they arrived,
Why is this
they
a
found
plastic cup?
Kakashi surrounded by
Didn't we
teammates.
talk about what
Glass
kind
and
of
par.
cups?
Hmm.
No, it was, what was it?
Glass.
Glass
A
only.
process that also
Glass
helped Kakashi
only.
pass out. Enraged by what had happened, Obito used the combination of his Mangekyo Sharingan's Kamui and the wood release of Guruguru's body to slaughter the Kirigakure ninja. When all of them were dead, Obito cradled Rin's lifeless body, ignoring the unconscious Kakashi. Obito returned to Mountain's graveyard, vowing to do anything for Madara if it could bring him together with Rin and Kakashi again. Madara explained his Eye of the Moon plan, which would replace the contemporary world of violence and death with one where nobody ever needs to die. Obito was intrigued, determined to create a reality where he, Rin, and Kakashi could exist alongside each other. Madara imparted all of his knowledge and plans to Obito, taught him about abilities he would need moving forward, entrusted him with his possessions, and manifested Black Zetsu to act as a guide. Having left almost all that he had to Obito, Madara disconnected himself from the demonic statue of the Outer Path that was keeping him alive, and told Obito that until his revival, he was to act as Madara Uchiha, moving the plan forward. Using Madara's name and concealing his identity, Obito moved in the shadows of the ninja world to acquire the remaining pieces of the Eye of the Moon plan. Shortly after Madara's death, Obito and Zetsu went to Amagakure and approached the fledgling Akatsuki with an offer of support in creating the world of peace they envisioned. In truth, he only needed Nagato, in whom Madara had implanted his Rinnegan several years earlier, and who would be needed in finding pieces of the Eye of the Moon plan. While Obito was almost able to sway Nagato, the Akatsuki leader, Yahiko, declined. Obito claims he eventually agreed